Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Wow. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. One thing I will sit there and say is cocaine is a hell of a drug. With that being said, let's start with Sasha. So Sasha is just hung over. Okay, this woman is face pillowed, face in the pillow, just out. This morning, and Maxie calls her, and Maxie's like, "So, plan on showing up to work? Cause you know, you have a photo shoot, and you're late." And this is super expensive, and you need to get your ass over here. Sasha gets up, and she just looks like a wreck. Now, me as a male, granted, Sasha is looking pretty hungover, and she's so damn pretty that she still makes it somehow look good. But with that being said, yeah, she's done, you know. The bed is like little, the little bottles or whatever from like the hotel and shit. And, she, I guess fixes herself or whatever to get to work. And she's in the elevator and she still looks like shit. And, Nina, Nina's there and you see Sasha walking in and Nina's just like, seemed like you had one hell of a night. And, Sasha was like, yep, yeah, mm-hmm. And Nina, like, yeah, I know what happened. And Nina is actually being pretty nice and stuff. She's like, listen, I want you to be happy and stuff like that. And Sasha's like, don't be nice to me, because clearly it's not like she doesn't deserve it from Nina. But Nina's just like, you know what, I'm gonna take the high road and I'm actually gonna be nice and trying to console her and stuff like that. Like, listen, I want you to be happy. I know what happened, and because Sasha's like, you were right about me, and Nina's like, you know what, I'm not here for that. Just people make mistakes. Just be better, do better. Which is good. She took the high road, and it's one of those things where it's like she could have really just went in on her, but somehow being nice probably hurt a lot more. So, good job, Nina. Good job. I know I don't really give her much praise because, let's be honest, I don't really like her, but she has her moments, and that's one of them. So, Sasha gets to the she gets to the building, and everyone's there. Maxie is freaking the hell out. She's freaking out. She's like, this isn't right, that's not right, the coffee's not right, my motto isn't here, what the hell is going on? She sees Sasha and she's like, oh, wow, wow. Even Charlotte, because Charlotte's there and Charlotte's like, damn, she was like, you look terrible. She was like, you look terrible. And Lulu was like, come on, be nice, you don't have to be like that. And Sasha even admitted, Sasha was like, well, you know what, she's being honest. And I guess they found the makeup woman or whatever, because the makeup woman was running late. And so the makeup woman was like, yo, listen, you need to find a way to fix that, like, now. And Charlie was like, can I come with her or whatever? And so she came with Sasha to watch her do her makeup and stuff like that. So I guess in some sort of way she kind of let the past go a little bit, like so she found a way to fix it to make her look presentable. And Lulu was there because Lulu wanted to do an interview on her. So she gets out, she looks actually a lot better. And then Lulu starts asking her questions. Sasha's like, what kind of questions are you going to ask me? And Lulu's like, nothing crazy, nothing whatever. And Lulu's like, she asked a question of like, where are you going to be in 5 years? And that was probably the wrong question. And so Sasha was like, listen, I can't even think about 5 days. I do one day at a time. And she just started tearing up again. And, makeup and everything like that was looking right, and it just looked like shit again. And Maxie came in there. Maxie was like, Lulu, what did you say to her? And Lulu was like, nothing. I just asked a couple of questions. And Lulu left and saw, and this was probably my favorite part of this whole episode, because up until a point she was freaking out. Before that she was freaking out. She was like, this isn't right, that's not right, I'm under a lot of pressure, I don't know what to do. And Nina came in, and Nina was just like, you got this. Whenever I have a tough decision and I don't know what to sit there and do, I call on you. You got this. You left Crimson for a reason. You're gonna do great. Just believe in yourself. And I think that was exactly what Maxie needed to hear. And again, I hate to sit there and give her credit, but Nina was actually supportive of Maxie, and she didn't have to be. She really didn't have to be. She knew it was a big day for Maxie. She came near and she was supportive, and she was like, listen, just, you got this. She took the high road, and she could have been like, oh, well, look at you now. You want to be the big shot, and how's it look, But she decided to take the high road, and she was like, you got this, and she left. And Maxie was a lot more confident, and that's after Lulu made her cry again, and Lulu kind of scampered off somewhere. And then Maxie was like, oh man, I gotta get the makeup artist. Oh, wait a minute, she left for the day. Shit. And then she just was like, listen, this is a big day for both of us. I did not leave Crimson so that way my whole shit can tank. I really want to care about your personal life, but today is not the day. Tomorrow you can sit there and cry, bawl your eyes out. I will be there with you to hold your hand. But today, we are businesswomen, and we need to get shit done. So, pull your act together, fix your makeup, and get your ass out here so that way we can do this photo shoot. And I was just like, I really, I gotta sit there and say, Maxie has been killing it with these scenes. When she has those breakout moments, when she gets her shit together, she's fire. And this was definitely one of those fucking moments where she just laid down the line on Sasha, like, listen, I understand your life is in shambles, your personal life is in shambles, but I did not leave Crimson. This is a lot of money, this is a lot of time, we're paying a lot of, we cannot redo this shit again. You need to go in there, get your shit looking at your A game, and you need to, do this now. Because there's no tomorrow, and if you fuck this up, you don't just fuck this up for yourself, you mess this up for everyone. And I was blown away. Maxie was a rock star, and that's what I'm gonna say about that. And Sasha went back in there to get her makeup done, and the assistant, Maxie's assistant, gave her a vial of fucking cocaine. I am not joking. I was like, wow. Because at one point, Maxie was like, listen, I am freaking out. I am trying to revive this, this industry from the 90s. I guess Deception was, really popular back in the 90s. And when, I'm not going to lie, when her assistant gave her cocaine, I was like, yep, that is definitely, I mean, it's more of an 80s drug, really, but 80s, early 90s, I was like, wow. And I still was just like, wow, seriously? You gave her drugs? And Sasha was like, I'm good, I can handle this. And the assistant was like, yeah, I know, but this is kind of a big day for everyone, so you need a good pick-me-up. And Sasha just fell under the pressure. Hell, Chase came in there after Chase talked to, I know this is kind of out of order, but it will make sense, trust me. Chase came in there because, Carly was going to, give him the business, but then seeing what happened to Chase, when Willow walked in, Chase like, listen, Laura, right, Carly was like, listen, in this very not two-faced conversation, but double talk, she was just basically sitting there thanking Chase for doing the right thing and making a great sacrifice. Him and Sasha for the custody case. So Chase took a beeline and went straight to the photo shoot. And of course, Lulu had to throw in her 2 cents about how much of a scumbag he was for what he did and ruining the photo shoot, because this whole blow up and her and Sasha being a wreck, you know, he's kind of responsible for it. And if this thing tanks, it's both of their fault. So she was pretty pissed off. And, well, she had a right to be. To some extent. So Lulu was like, listen, you need to go in there and whatever, like, you need to give, Sasha a good pep talk. And so, he went in there and Lulu was talking to Maxie, and Lulu was like, listen, Chase is in there talking to Lulu right now. And Maxie was like, what are you doing? He can only make, and then, cause Lulu was like, well, you know, things can't get any worse. And Lulu was like, no, it can get 1,000 times worse. You already screwed up by having my model cry and ruin her makeup, and now you send Chase in there to do who knows what. Like, seriously, I sat there and I looked and I was like, you know what, Maxie, you are 100% right. With everything right now. And so, you know, Chase went in there to talk to Willow and was like, listen, to talk to Sasha and was like, listen, we did the right thing. You know, this hurts now, but it will get better later on, and I know that we both did the right thing. So just do your best out there, you know, you got this. And then he left, and Sasha was just kind of standing there, and Drugs was just like right there, and you already knew it was gonna happen. Sasha, you know, Lulu and Maxie was just sitting there waiting to see what Sasha was gonna do and how she was gonna act, and just worried. And Sasha came in there. I know this isn't funny, but like, Sasha came in there like she had like 20 Red Bulls. Like, she was just fired up. She was like, all right, we got a photo shoot to do. Let's go. You know, rah, rah, rah. She was all like excited and shit. Like energy out the ass. Like, she was, and granted, you know, she looked great and everything. Like, you know, she was never hungover in the first place. Didn't know that cocaine can actually cure a hangover. So, it really can't, by the way. I'm not recommending that. But she just came out there with like new life and shit. And then at the end, you know, everyone was like happy and stuff like that because they had no idea that she was high as a fucking kite. And then towards the end of that scene, they showed, you know, the empty vial of fucking cocaine. So, that's gonna be a thing going forward. Yeah, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie, that was probably like the best scenes in that episode was Sasha, was Maxie just dealing with this whole thing, and Sasha just being, you know what, never mind. Yeah, so that was the best part of this episode, and let's get into some fluff. So Anna and Finn are sitting there talking. And Anna is just daydreaming. Like, Finn is talking, and Anna is just, like, spacing the fuck out. So Finn is talking about fucking aliens and shit like that, and, you know, they talk a little bit about Holly and stuff like that. First of all, and granted, I get it's a soap opera, but whenever you have a death off scene, it's like, what the hell, you know? It's like, what the hell? It just seems like it's a very lazy fucking way of like dealing with something without actually showing something. You know, they did that with Drew, which I have a feeling like they're gonna probably have Drew come back because they never found the body. They just found wreckage with no body. And it was not there talking a little bit, you know, about Holly and stuff like that, Holly's relationship with Anna, frenemies or whatever. And then, they talk about, um, because Finn wants to distract Anna, so he talks about a wedding date. And, he start talking about the wedding date and stuff like that, and planning and stuff like that. They set it for August. Um, and, they begin to hug and kiss and stuff like that. And Robert comes in. Robert's like, oh, man, you guys are so happy. I wish Holly could be that happy. And I'm just like, bro, part of me really has my heart out for you, but don't be a dick. Don't do that. So Robert comes in and he sits down and I guess he must be drunk again or some shit. I don't know, because he starts talking about Holly, and Finn goes and gets him a coffee. I don't understand the deal. Maybe coffee cures drunkenness. I don't know. But Robert's like, listen, there's a lot of inconsistencies with this whole ship being sunk. And, there's a possibility that Robert's pretty much like, there's a possibility that Holly could still be alive. This isn't the first time that, well, not that Holly faked her death, but it turned out that Holly was alive. And it's like, listen, I don't want you chasing ghosts. There's a really good chance that Holly may not be alive, and we don't want you chasing ghosts, missing your family, missing your friends and stuff like that, missing your life, to be disappointed. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. And so, yeah. And Robert's like, well, I gotta make a couple of calls. And so Robert goes and leaves. Don't you hate that when you're about to actually have a sneeze and then you don't have it? So Robert is like, I'm gonna go make some calls, and Finn is like, listen, is there a chance that Holly's alive? And Anna's like, yeah, there's a chance, but the ship went down and a lot of people are missing, and until you've see a body, they're declared missing. You just always wonder, and I don't want that for Robert. Kind of think that you should let Robert handle it, but whatever. I get the idea of like sparing Robert pain, but if it was the reverse, and let's say that Peter was missing, she would sit there and track Peter down to the end of the earth. So why would you sit there and tell somebody else? If Finn was missing, you would sit there and look for Finn. Like, I understand why Robert would want to sit there and make those calls, because if he doesn't know and he doesn't do anything, he's not looking, he's gonna feel like he's like, anyway. So that pretty much goes on with that. Yeah, I gotta be honest. That's pretty much where Anna and Finn scene and Robert leaves. Give me 1 second. I just talked for like a couple of seconds. I forgot I paused it. So, the Corinthos, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, get to the courthouse and, gets to the courthouse, and Carly meets Martin Gray, and Carly tries to intimidate Martin by, informing him that her husband is Sonny. At first, she tries an intimidating tactic by saying, "Oh, my husband is Sonny," and he just doesn't like to be disappointed. And then she tries this thing where she basically says, "Listen, she's more like, my husband has a lot of high connections, just in case you don't, in case you lose the case, in case you're just not on your A game today, don't take it so hard, And then when they get into the courtroom, Diane pretty much asks everyone, "Are we good before we get started?" And then Carly's like, "Listen, I just reminded Martin who my husband was." And Diane was like, "Martin Gray already knows who your husband is. You're not gonna do anything by intimidating him. He's a shark. He dealt with powerful people before. And by the way, you need to watch your temper, because Martin's going to paint you as this crazed woman that's trying to take a mother away from her child. So watch your temper." I mean, she said it in a different way, but it was pretty much the exact same way. And so everyone's sent their way, the judge comes in, everyone is sitting and waiting for Nell because they look over and Nell is not there. And Martin's like, well, the judge's like, where's your client at? And Martin's like, oh, I can assure you, I just spoke on the phone, she'll be here shortly. And the judge's like, is she even in the courtroom? And Martin's like, yeah, I think she's in the courtroom. I think, she'll be right here. It's just stalling for time or whatever. And then at the last possible second, because we didn't, at this point, Nell was not in the entire episode. She comes in 5:57 minutes into the episode, and she comes in and she's in a wedding gown. And everyone is surprised. Carly cracked me the hell up. She cracked me up. She literally did, because everyone is sitting there like shocked, and Carly's like, of course, she just has that, eyes rolling, looking up at the sky, cracked me up. This was Nell's big stunt. And of course, Carly saw it, which I'm surprised that she didn't actually say anything about it. Because, I mean, when you sit and stop and think about it, a lot of the stuff that Nell did, Carly did. To sit there and think that she couldn't anticipate Nell's next move was like, really? But, yeah. So that pretty much ends the, the review or recap. I guess it's a review. Or a recap. I'll call it a recap. Still gonna go with a recap. So that pretty much ends the recap. So, before I go, I heard from a little birdie. Now, take this with a grain of salt. And what I mean by a little birdie, I meant by a clip of yesterday's episode. And granted, this is just a rumor until I get this confirmed. Next Thursday is supposed to be the last of the new episodes. They're going to be playing a lot of replays. Somebody said that they're going to be playing a lot of Nurses Ball clips. I don't know if that's true, but the point is, it's going to be a lot of old episodes. It's not going to be any new episodes for a little bit, because of course, they shut down production. And I was waiting for this to happen. I knew that Fridays they were taking off stuff from like Friday's episodes, but yeah. So just a heads up, and this is a speculation because of course I heard this in the comment section on YouTube. So take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this recap. Tomorrow is gonna be Flashback Fridays, hopefully. We'll see what they got in store. But if they don't, I actually have a clip that I saw that is going to be a real Flashback Fridays. Actually have a couple of clips, but I will give my recommendation for the true Flashback Friday tomorrow. So, have a good day, good night, depending on when you're watching this. I know this came out a little bit later, but I really want to kind of take some notes. And, well, to be honest, I came home a little bit late, and I had to cook, because I was not going to sit there and watch GH on an empty stomach. So, be safe, be merry, wash your hands, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next GH. I will catch you in Friday's episode unless, they decide to interrupt it for the news again.